This muscle-bound mayhem includes the awesome Atlaspheres, the sensational Skytrack, Whiplash Warfare, plus the gritty and gruesome Gauntlet. Now meet Jeremy Guscott and Ulrika Johnson.
Good evening and welcome to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham and to our 7th series. Now this year we're giving away some fabulous prizes. Our winners will each receive £1,000. But there's more. And they'll each drive away one of these fabulous four-wheel drive utility trucks, brand new into the UK.
Our runners-up, well, it's not all doom and gloom. They will also receive £1,000, plus we'll jet them off to the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island in the Bahamas.
Meet tonight's contenders. Tonight they are Judith Huntington
and Sue England.
There's a welcome for you, Judith. What's with the blow-up sheets?
Well, I actually keep sheep at home, so they thought they'd bring some with them, and that would make me feel at home, you see.
I see one of our cameras has even adopted one.
That one got loose.
So tell us, you live on a farm, don't you?
I live on a farm. I work full-time for a high street bank as mortgage specialist, and also we farm at home, and I'm a mother as well.
Oh my gosh, it runs in the family then. Tell us, you've got your husband and...
my daughter Emily.
Are they here tonight?
They are here, yes.
So between work and running the farm, how on earth do you have time to keep fit?
Well, there's always time to do the things that you want to do. So you get up early in the morning, you use your lunch hour at lunchtime, and then you fit a bit in at night. If you can.
Oh, is that right? Let's hear it for Judith Huntington.
Sue, how difficult is it to spot your supporters?
Not very.
What they all got on? What?
The George Cross of England, of course. You can't hear them as well.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about what you do and where you're from.
Well, my name's Sue England, of course. I come from Goole and I work for the Inland Revenue.
Just between you and I, my tax return's in the post.
I'll make sure it's dealt with, Jeremy.
Thanks very much. How much stick do you get for being, working in the tax office there?
I generally don't tell people. The secret's out now, so...
Whereabouts is Goole in the country?
Goole, it's in East Yorkshire and it's near Hull.
Ooh. Have you got hold of the man up there yet?
I certainly have.
Is he here this evening?
He is, Jonathan. He's sat right down there.
Have you just moved into a house?
We have. We've just moved into a new house and we're doing it up at the moment, so, work cut out here and there. It's great fun.
OK, all sounds good. Let's hope you have, some fun this evening. We wish you all the best. Let's hear it for Sue England.
Well, we've met the girls, let's meet the guys. Tonight they are John McAvoy
and Lavern Ritch.
You've brought a bit of a green crowd with you. What's with the green crowd, John?
I don't know, we just thought we'd get a good block of colour and stand out and make some noise. Yeah.
Noisy. Tell us what you do and where you're from, John.
I'm a GP and I work in Sheffield.
Woo! Now, I have to say, how can I put this? You're one of our more mature contenders this year, aren't you, John?
Yes, I'm 21, but I've had a very hard life.
Very hard life. Now, how are we allowed to ask how old you are?
Yeah, actually, I'm 42, but there's no age limit for this show, just a fitness test. So get out of your seats, folks, and have a go!
So 42, that makes you 10 years younger than Wolf, I think.
At least.
At least. You're a GP, and tell me about your hobbies, because you've got a few interesting ones.
I like gardening, poetry, physical things like that. I've played rugby for the last 31 years. So
what do you think of Jeremy?
Obviously, I'm a great fan of Jeremy Guscott, and I must say, like every rugby player in the country, I consider it a great privilege to be talking to you instead.
Oh, well, you'll have to talk to him as well. Who have you got here tonight? You got your family here?
Yeah, I've got my family, my wife and my 3 daughters.
They've been a great support to you as you've been training?
They have. We were watching Gladiators 4 years ago. My daughter said, "Could you do that, Dad?" I said, "Yes." So they sent off for the application form, and 4 attempts later, here I am.
You're here. Well, that's fantastic. We're really pleased to have you on the show, and let's hope you don't meet the Wolfman. If you do, there'll be a great age gap, as we know. But let's hear it for John McAvoy.
Lavern, I can hardly keep a straight face, mate. You're going to have to tell me, who's this geezer?
This is Ernie, man. Big Ern.
Why have you brought Big Ern?
Oh, well, we've got to get Cardiff on the map, man, because there's not too many contenders from Wales making a big show on Gladiators. So, as you can see, I got a contingency now from Cardiff, and we need to make a big effort.
Are you that worried about the Gladiators that you got to bring Big Ern with you?
Well, there's some big guys out there, man, but hopefully my quick legs and agility should sort that out, man.
Right, I think we've realised you come from Wales. Whereabouts in Wales?
In Cardiff, man.
In Cardiff. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a swimming instructor.
All right, and how much do you enjoy that?
Oh, it's a top job, man. I love it. Brilliant job.
Family and friends here?
Yeah, all my family, mum, dad, girlfriend. Yeah, all top bananas. Yay!
Top bananas. How much training have you done to prepare for Gladiators?
Well, I've been doing a lot of running, cycling, swimming, basketball. I do a lot of mixture of sports, so but always on an enjoyment team.
Okay, so you prepared your body, you prepared your mind as well, because I think you got a bit of a rap for us, haven't you?
Oh, well, just about, I think. I'm a bit nervous now, but you bear with me, everyone, okay? Here we go, ready? My name is Uncle Al, and I'm blazing like hell, kicking in for the mix in the 98, kicking a power by the hour with the muscles I bust. I ain't ever gonna be the one that bites dust, because I'm hungry for the wolf you see. And I never take a dive, because that ain't me. I'll be straight up crazy like any gladiator, so suck a step back, Uncle Al, don't rate you.
Well, everybody appreciated that. You've certainly talked the talk. Now we'll have to see if you can walk the walk. Let's give it up for Lavern Ritch.
Well, we finally managed to stop Lavern from talking, so let the games begin.
In the yellow Atlasphere, it's Sue. And in the orange Atlasphere, it's Judith. And now facing our gladiators, Rio and Falcon.
Earlier this afternoon, Andrew Beefcake Norgate conducted the toss to determine who would face whom.
I'll have Falcon in Atlaspheres.
Why did you pick Falcon?
Because Rio's so big.
She's bloody huge, man. Mind you, she's in the ball, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Check pods for smoke. Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
First time out this series for the bone-crunching Atlaspheres. Judith gets rolling. Oh, she's all ends up. Not a very good start. Sue very fast to the middle. Impact. Judith is free. Falcon on a vapor trail. There's 3 points for every pod. Oh, but Jude can't sink it. Sue finding Rio just as dangerous when she's inside a cage. Judith again with a freebie on 4 and still can't make it pay. Rio forcing Sue wide. Judith with Falcon out of control, moving in on 1. And smokes it for 3. Comes up on 2 with Falcon out of the ball game. Middle to oh, smokes it again. 3 more points. Falcon looking to make amends. Gives her a broadside. Sue has eluded Rio. Wobbling up on 4. Oh, no smoke, no cigar. Judith blazing through the middle. Steals another 3. And now Sue with space and speed at last. Yes, a triple from Sue. Time running down. Falcon not getting the measure of Judith, while Rio has Sue pretty well taped there. Well, only towards the end did Sue escape the Rio with enough time and space to make pod 3 cough up 3 points. Smoking.
Sue, happy with the performance overall?
Average. Can do better.
Can do better. Well, you've got to be happy. Sue, you score 3 points.
Well, Judith, you were off to a bad start. You tumbled on your way down, and then you sort of lost it a little bit at the beginning.
How many did you get? How many points?
Is that all you're interested in? I just thought you might...
Delighted.
All right.
excellent.
What's 3 times 3?
9.
You picked up 9 points. Well done, Judith.
Rio, you did such a bad job, we're going to keep you in the cage for a while, but no, seriously, how did that go for you?
It was really good fun, actually, and I just can't stop thinking about the fact that I'm stuck in this cage at the moment, so...
Vulcan, I think we'll move swiftly on to Vulcan. You had a bit of fun there with Judith.
I did. There was one point I thought, oh, I've got her. Then suddenly, the other gladiator contender came in between me, and that was it. She went ahead and I was following her, and she just went and scored her points.
She scored her points, but let's give it up for Vulcan and Rio.
Well, while the team get the blowtorch out to release Rio, a look at the scores confirms it's Judith 9, Sue 3.
Now it's the turn of the boys. In the yellow Atlasphere, it's Lavern. And in the orange Atlasphere, it's John. And they're facing our gladiators, Diesel and Vulcan.
The door is slammed on Vulcan as the 8,000-plus choir offer up the Atlaspheres anthem. He's thinking when it comes to moves, Diesel get him going. But when it comes to stats, Diesel's impressive. 1.97 m tall and 105 kilos, that's 16 stone 7 pounds in weight. Vulcan, the anti-social Antipodean, is 1.91 m tall and weighs in at 120 kilos, that's 18 stone 9 pounds. The doctor begins his round. This will be a huge and bitter pill to swallow if John fails to score. Again, the yellow sphere outstrips the rest. Lavern impacts on Diesel. John with a lucky ricochet off Vulcan, heading for 3. Oh, and he can't middle it. But Lavern sharp on 4 for 3 points. John with space. Can the Vulcan glance him away? Last-ditch interception from Vulcan. John skirts the edge. Lavern with time to spend on pod 3. And she can't depress the sensor. Vulcan again nudging John out of the points. Vulcan performing well in his debut Atlasphere outing. Lavern struggling on pod 2. Late for the ball comes Diesel. Still to get the measure of these spheres. John free for a pop at 4. Again, the Vulcan glances him into touch. Lavern going cross-country to pod 3. The clock going down. Oh, but the smoke goes up. Lavern with a cracking Atlaspheres. And Vulcan doing his job properly. Made sure John didn't profit. Lavern's girlfriend happy with that.
Lavern, I think you had Diesel chasing shadows, not Atlaspheres.
Oh, that guy is big, he's tall, he's fast as well, so give him his respects, but at the end of the day, they've got to catch the quick brother.
The quick brother was good enough to score 6 points.
I have to say, John, that was outrageously unlucky. You went over 4 or 5 pods, but just went around the ridge of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had me trapped on the outside, and I just couldn't make it full onto the pod, so I expected points from that game. I'm disappointed.
Well, plenty more games to go. Let's hear it for John.
John's parents and wife know how hard he works.
Diesel, your first time in Atlaspheres, a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The guy was really fast. He did really well. I mean, I think he got a couple, but kept it going, kept him on his toes, and he did quite well, so...
Indeed he did. Vulcan, as usual, I suppose you've got something to say.
Well, let me tell you something, Gascon. You know, Jonathan, or whatever his name is, he was probably the fastest man I've ever seen. But guess what? Even that, I'm still better than him.
I don't think so. Let's have a little applause for Vulcan, but let's give it up for Diesel.
So, here's how the scores roll up after one event. John 0, Lavern 6.
Skytrack.
In the outside lane wearing yellow, it's Sue. In the inside lane wearing pink, it's Judith. And they're going to be chased by Siren and Lightning.
Although she's upside down, we can still see that Sue's not happy.
A bit like a scale X-Trix on the ceiling, running upside down. I don't really fancy Lightning on that one, because she's fast, she's quick, and it's tough. It's a hard game, very hard on your arms and legs, and I do not fancy her on that game at all.
3, 2, 1.
So it's Sue in yellow, chased by Lightning. Judith in pink, pursued by Siren. 10 yards head start. First to the finish line, scores 10, providing they don't get zapped out of it by the Glads. Oh, like that, Sue's blown out. Judith leading Siren by a country mile on the back straight, but Siren now closing the gap. Judith on for a tenner if she keeps this up. Sue was right, not an easy game. Oh, but flash work from Siren. The figure of 8 course gives both contenders a figure of 0 to add to their scores. Sue's glad it's over. Boyfriend Jonathan clearly forgotten his hanky. Good work from the blonde bombers. Lightning struck gold early doors to stop Sue, and then Siren gave Judith what for a quarter of a lap later. 2 events down, 3 to go. 9-3 the score.
And in the outside lane wearing blue, it's Lavern. In the inside lane wearing red, it's John. They're going to be facing Wolf and Cobra.
John's not exactly up for this, as he discovered earlier.
I'm fairly pleased with the games that I've got in my show, except for Skytrack. This game doesn't look too bad, but it is absolutely horrendous. I think it should be called Vertigo, as the first time round it, I looked down and I was so dizzy and totally disorientated. I just hope that I can survive that game and then get on with the rest of the show.
Ready! 3, 2, 1. Away first time, John with a short and stubby technique, Lavern with a longer reach. Oh, Cobra's put John out of his misery. This event not really what the doctor ordered. To Cobra, it was NHS, no hope, son. Lavern leaving Wolfman in his wake, skidding round the bends. Wolf might just as well ease off. Michael Schumacher couldn't catch Lavern up there. The Welsh swimming instructor has crawled his way to a 10-point win on Skytrack. Rich pickings for Lavern left the Wolf hanging out to dry. But let's award full marks to Cobra for denying John the points in double quick time. After 2 events, John stays on 0. Lavern has a mighty 16.
Well, what a fantastic start to the show. And if you want more of where that came from, join us after the break for more action here on Gladiators. To part 2, where we're just about to kick off with one of this season's brand new games. And first up, it's Judith. And she's going to be racing against Vogue.
Judith seems comfortable with the high life tonight, but here's what she thinks of Vertigo.
The game that I'm actually looking forward to most is Vertigo. During training, many people found it very difficult to lean from pole to pole and reach across. Probably my weight helped me in that one. Being quite heavy, I found it quite easy to lean from pole to pole. There was actually a man training on the opposite side, and I actually beat him very easily, which gave me great confidence.
Judith begins her first polar expedition. She'll score 10 if she traverses all 5 poles ahead of Vogue. If Vogue wins, Judith will take a point for each pole she's topped. Vogue is climbing strongly. She's going to hit the heights first. You can't afford to hang about in this waiting game. Vogue looking to hold sway over Judith on the transfer between poles 1 and 2. Judith's band's getting in the swing of it. Vogue looking to open up that lead still further, but Judith is coming back. Vogue on pole 2, working it with her weight. Full stretch to try and reach pole 3, but needs to get a grip on the situation because Judith's pulled the lead right back, both on pole 3. Judith's nephew bemused at what he sees, and Vogue far from amused at what she sees, because Judith has the edge. Judith on 4, Vogue failing to make the move from 3 to 4. Vogue at full stretch, and Judith, the mortgage advisor, would counsel against stretching yourself too far. Judith coming up on 5, and it looks like she's on for 10. Vogue's given up the ghost, and the spectre of Judith will haunt her evermore. A superb ring of confidence about Judith registers her 10-point win. Judith lowers herself for a post-event chat with Ulrika.
Well, Judith, huge congratulations, because you managed to catch her up. I'm not quite sure where and when and how you did it.
I just went for it. You just got to go for that one on the swings. I was a bit worried about it because I pulled my leg a bit in training. I just tried to jump across on each one.
Well, you did terrifically well, and you deserve your 10 points! facing Lightning.
Although Sue appears to have drawn the short straw in this event, a look at the stats reveals she's in with a chance. The Lightning, nothing short of sensational, at 1.70 m tall and 57 kilos, that's 9 stone. But Sue is 8 centimetres taller and 11 kilos, that's 1 stone, 10 pounds heavier. The race to the top of pole 1. Sue works for the Inland Revenue, and she and her colleagues do a very fine job indeed. Hopefully that's earned me a few brownie points with the tax office. Lightning climbing strongly. She'll hit the top first. Feet on the platform, then swing the pole back from the vertical before easing it across. This event's not about leaning, but swinging. Sue supporters can hardly bear to watch. Sue makes it to pole 2. Lightning poles apart on 3. Sue needs to make her weight work now. Sue on 3. Boyfriend Jonathan and father Jack urging more effort. Lightning stretches to the final pole. And it looks like the maximum is going to elude Sue. Lightning checks to see how the contender's doing, but it's Lightning who once again shows brilliance in the air and wrestles victory from Sue's grasp. Jonathan and Jack disappointed, but Sue will add 4 points for 4 poles to her score. As Lightning drops in on Jeremy, Sue looks to grab the hoop for the free ride to the ground.
Lightning, it just seems as if Gladiators has come up with another game in Vertigo that just suits you down to the ground. Or up in the sky.
Well, it's certainly not down to the ground. In fact, I don't look down. I'm up there, it's so high. But, it's really quite nerve-wracking up there. I'd really like you to go up there, actually, Jeremy.
I'll leave it to the Gladiators. Let's hear it for Lightning!
So I'm sure you're not happy with that. I mean, it looked to me as if you had a little bit of trouble on the first couple of poles.
Yeah, the first 2 I couldn't quite reach far enough. But she's quick as lightning. She certainly lives up to her name.
She certainly did, but all is not lost. You picked up 4 points. Well done.
Still 2 events to go before the eliminator. Judith's on 19, Sue's on 7.
So we now move into the men's event with John. And he's going to be facing Ace. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready!
Lots of pec flexing going on here. Ace's first time out on Vertigo against John, the GP, who's already admitted that he's no flying doctor when it comes to heights. Ace fast on the pole. He'll just pip John to the top of the post. Ace will now swing it back and then towards pole 2. Ace not swinging it back. That could be a rule infringement. The ref may have something to say later. Ace transfers from 1 to 2. John only just behind him. Again, Ace not back swinging his pole. And as I pointed out earlier, this event is all about swinging and not leaning. John can't make the stretch, misjudges it, stuck on 2, has another crack at it, makes the change over. Ace moves on 4, that lead very convincing. And John making heavy weather of his pole-to-pole work. Ace a massive gladiator. When he played rugby, he could scrum all by himself. The finishing hoop is within his grasp, sets himself up for the final lean. And Ace wins it hands down. John hits pole 4, and great effort from him, but couldn't get those transfers right. John finishes. Wife Hilary and daughters Sarah, Katie and Emily proud of his courage, but let's examine Ace's technique once again. Does he swing the pole back from the vertical before leaning out to the next pole? I feel a refereeing decision coming on here.
In vertical, Ace did not conform to the rules by swinging far enough back. The result is 10 points to John.
As we suspected.
Next up on Vertigo, it's Lavern. He's going to be facing Hunter.
Sizing up the huntsman, we've got him at 1.90 m tall and 103 kilos, 16 stone 4 pounds heavy, which means Lavern's 7 centimetres shorter and 22 kilos, that's 3 stone 8 pounds lighter. John Anderson whistles them up. Lavern knows that John's pulled back his lead to just 6 points, so he needs to haul something out of this. Fast footwork from both guys. Lavern awkward at the top of the pole, wasting valuable seconds, and on Vertigo, that can be your downfall. Hunter working his pole skillfully. He's across. Lavern joins him on pole 2, and Lavern might have the edge. Gearing up for pole 3. Lavern takes it. No, almost falls short. Hunter safely onto 3 and again in the lead. Lavern's industry impressive. Merciless with that pole. Reached for 4, just short. Deborah doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. Lavern, like a man possessed, scrambles onto pole 4. Hunter with the edge, but Lavern pulls it back again. It's all about this final pole. Lavern, like Uri Geller, bending a spoon. Lavern's going to steal it. One more swing, and he grabs the hoop, takes the 10 points, came back from the dead more than once to claim his prize. Mum Barbara can't believe it. Nor can Deb.
Well, Lavern, I have to say that was almost a miracle because I didn't think you were going to make it. You made a few mistakes going up the pole in the first place. It looked a little bit too keen for me.
Yeah, I was trying to show you the old Vernon two-step, but I kept getting missing the old hand grips. But I managed to get there. I'm pleased with that, yeah, cool.
You certainly should be. You picked up 10 points. Well done.
Hunter, bit of respect there for Lavern.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure when. I've got to do a certain amount of swings before we're allowed to cross over. Maybe with me being a bit heavier, I swing a bit further. So I got a head start. But it was very close. She did very well. 10 points, so...
Every now and again, you've got to come unstuck.
Okay.
It's not through lack of trying. Let's give it up for Hunter!
Rarer than hen's teeth, a defeat for the Hunter. Here's how that affects the scores. After 3 events, John moves up to 10, Lavern to 26.
Our first female contender is Judith. And she's facing Fox.
The Fox figures like this: 175 centimetres tall and 67 kilograms, 10 stone 8 pounds heavy. Pushing the other way, Judith will be assisted by 1.65 metres of height and 62 kilos. That's almost a stone lighter. It's shoulders to the Sumo Ball for 30 seconds of push me pull you. Judith must force Fox off the platform to score 10 points or last for half minute for 5. Fox backing Judith up and forcing her to plunge down. She's got her. Fast work from the Foxy Fiend. The giant Sumo Ball eases Judith out of contention. Husband Andrew and daughter Emily stunned by the speed. Fox's reverse technique had Judith teetering on the rim.
Our second female contender is Sue. And she's up against Rebel.
The number crunching on Rebel looks like this: 180 and 66, which means that Sue is 2 centimetres shorter, but a useful 2 kilos, that's 5 pounds heavier. A bag of spuds. When push comes to shove, Rebel is the more experienced, plenty of speed on the platform, and Sue's finding this taxing. Rebel with loads of industry. Oh, she's overcooked it! Sue stalls the ball and sends Rebel a perler. A 10-point win for Sue. Rebel can see the funny side. A real turn-up with that knockdown. The crowd are delirious. Sue getting the knockabout, but Mum, Myra and boyfriend Jonathan well happy.
It's never good to lose, but let's be honest, that was quite a humorous moment.
I know, for some unknown reason, he was going around in circles. And I was trying to push off, and I was thinking, I'm sure I've got her. But she didn't go, and I went.
I think you just run out of track, didn't you?
I know, because I was running around. Obviously, I must have thought I was at Olympic Games and running 200 metres. Who knows?
Sue, 10 points.
But you don't need those 10 points.
You just bided your time, and did you actually... How quickly did you realise Rebel had gone?
I didn't. I was still pushing and she'd gone. Still going and she'd gone.
She's gone and you have got 10 points. That's brilliant news. Let's hear it for Sue and Rebel!
After 4 events, Judith just holds on to a 2-point lead. She's on 19, Sue's on 17.
So we now move into the men's event with John. He's going to be facing Saracen.
And there is only one, and here he is. As for Sarah's stats, John will read them and weep. A massive 191 tall, a mighty 111 kilos, that's 17 stone 7 heavy, which makes John 8 centimetres shorter and 22 kilos, that's 3.5 stone lighter. John's mission is to keep a hold of the dog bone while trying to pull Saracen out of the Whiplash ring. 10 points will be his reward, but Sarah's intent on giving the doc a taste of his own medicine. John with plenty of energy and speed, Sarah giving ground but holds it back and tries to root himself to the spot. Oh, good effort again from John. Saracen trying to regain the centre ground. John having better luck employing strength rather than speed. Saracen needs to keep his wits about him. Can't afford to relax. John digs in, figures he can't pull this one off. That's assuming Sarah doesn't pull his arm off. Well, a brilliant effort from John. The hooter beats him. No points added to the score. Sarah and Katie thought he might have stolen it.
There was a couple of times that you nearly had him.
He's a big chunk of a fella. Takes a lot of pulling.
He certainly did. How's your arm? Because he did sort of, you did pull pretty hard a couple of times.
Feels okay now, don't know about later.
And Sarah, was that easy pickings for you, or did he give you a good fight?
That wasn't easy pickings. I was actually at the brink a couple of times. I was there to survive. I lasted the 30 seconds. It was tough, but I managed it. Joe's a very strong man. He doesn't look it, but there's a lot of power in that man there.
I think he looks very strong. Let's hear it for Sarah and John. Never mind. Next up on Whiplash, it's Lavern. And he's going to be facing Rhino.
And Rhino's in no mood to mess about. Armed with these kind of stats, who can blame him? Compactly builds at 172 and 108 kilos at 17 stone. So remember, Lavern is taller to the tune of 11 centimetres, but lighter by 26 kilos. That's 4 stone, 4 pounds. With those shoulders, Rhino could give himself a whiplash just by shrugging them. Lavern knows his only weapon is speed. Fancy footwork from Lavern. In, out, shake it all about. This is more like come dancing than glads. Lionel Blair's taking notes on some of these steps. Forget the rumble, Lavern, and concentrate on the Rhino. Well, Lavern is expending the energy, but Rhino's unimpressed. Lavern leaning back, but Rhino has the power to deny him glory. Disco dancing, aim for the whiplash ring. But I think he's pulled. She won't be impressed. Here are some of Lavern's best dance steps again, just for you, Lionel. It was billed as a tussle with the muscle, but ended up as a hustle with the muscle. After 4 events, the scores stay the same. John 10, Lavern 26.
First up to run the gauntlet, it's Judith. And tonight, she faces Siren, Rebel, Falcon,
Contender ready!
Judith looks worried. And who can blame her? The gauntlet is a 5-intersection road to hell. Reach the end in half a minute, the reward is 10 points. Siren putting the brakes on Judith's early progress. Judith gritting her teeth, refusing to swallow ramrods. Good fair play from Siren. Rebel next with the pads, but Judith slippery. Next, the ramrod of Falcon. A gauntlet specialist, serving up the punishment and eating into the time. Superb work from Falcon. Judith needs a big finish. Vogue with a pad, driven back. Fox is next, it's going to be tight. Fox the final frontier. But Judith powers up and blasts away to a 10-point victory.
Well, Judith, once you've got past Siren, and that took some work, there seemed to be no stopping you.
I took girls, I took them through, I'll tell you. It wasn't easy. It was hard.
Well, listen, they might have been tough, but you were tougher. You picked up 10 points. Well done. Next up to run the gauntlet, it's Sue. Over to Johnny's.
Contender ready! Gladiators ready! 3, 2, 1!
Sue launches herself into the avenue of broken dreams, a nightmare route and an explosive rebuff from Siren. Oh, Sue spins herself through 360 degrees into Rebel, who's fighting for control of her sector. Sue making her work hard. Got the better of Rebel once tonight. There's a second time. And Falcon is next. Falcon trying to pin Sue to the wall, but Sue won't give in. And next up is Vogue. Tries to put the brakes on. Sue backing her up, and a superb sidestep from Sue. Fox is the back marker. The clock's the winner in this event. Good work from Fox. A point for every sector for Sue.
Sue, how are you feeling? Because Siren knocked you flat on your back.
She won't do it again.
I don't think we'd like to see her do it again. I mean, the first point at which you meet them, they knocked you straight out almost, but then you came back for more.
You've just got to keep going and keep going.
Well, according to Annie Norgate, you picked up 4 points. Well done.
Annie Norgate? Who's that? Oh, that Annie Norgate.
For our Gladiators, Warriors, Fox, Rebel, Siren, Vogue and Falcon.
High-scoring stuff tonight, and going into the eliminator, Judith has 29 points, Sue 21.
So we now move into the men's event with John. And tonight, he faces Saracen, Ace, Wolf, Diesel, and Vulcan. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiators ready!
Well, I hope he's brought his own first aid kit. It might be a case of precision, heal thyself by the time this lot have finished with him, but John steams through Saracen. Ace man coming, trying to hold him with the pads, but John giving him the runaround. Wolf will go into the action next, pressing home the advantage. The referee giving him some stick, but what's new? John desperate to barge his way through, Wolf dispensed with. Next comes Diesel, derailing John's progress superbly well. Diesel establishing his gladiator credentials superbly. The final conflict is with Vulcan, but it might just as well be with a brick wall. Vulcan soaks up John's massive impact, but they do say no brain, no headache.
Well, John, I can see your rugby coming there at the beginning, dodging and weaving, but they hit you full on.
Oh, there's some serious meat on those boys. They take a bit of shifting. Good fun there.
You think that was good fun?
Yeah, great.
Well, I have to tell you, you enjoyed it so much, you picked up 4 points. Well done.
Highly prized 4 points for John, cutting into Lavern's lead. The crowd rising to this incredible doctor.
Next up to run the gauntlet, it's Lavern. Over to John Anderson.
And here's how Lavern sees this shaking down.
McVern's in your area, kicking combat scarier. Foes want to test, watch me put them on the derriere. That's behind, I rewind, I flick and smack them over. I'll be wrecking from the Shetlands all the way down to Dover. Strength like Hercules, I aim to please. So gladiators, stand up, get ready, prepare to be defeated.
Well, we've seen him dance in Whiplash, we've heard him rap. I think the Glads are in a mood to give this guy a bit of a slap. And Sarah is the first to mete out the punishment, forcing him down and round with that ramrod. It's into Ace's sector. Flat on the floor. Ace with the pads, working them hard. Lavern takes one in the chops. That flattens him. Mind your language, son. Lavern up again. Ace in the mood to push and parry until the whistle blows. It's enough to drive you up the wall. Deborah doesn't like what she's witnessing. Lavern will be beaten by the clock as well as by Ace's power pads. Time's up. A single point for Sarah's sector. Deborah distraught. Lavern flat out, and Ace getting a good hiding for his trouble. Boys will be boys.
Well, Lavern, I have to say you put in... Hello. Hello. Hello.
I got mauled.
Yes, there is that. And the fact that you put in a lot of work, a lot of fancy footwork, which took up a lot of time, absolutely.
Got me nowhere. They're big man. I didn't like this game. From the start, he got some big, mean, heavy, fast guys in there. But the speed events, catch me, brothers.
Well, absolutely. They're going to go off and have a party now, but I'm afraid after all that hard work, you only picked up 1 point. But let's hear it for Lavern. And let's hear it for our gladiators, Diesel, Vulcan, Wolf, Ace and Sarah.
While the Glads go off to start their workout for next week's spectacular, let's review the scores. John has 14, Lavern 27.
See of the Gladiators. All that remains now, of course, is the Eliminator. Join us after the break here on Gladiators. Welcome back to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham, where it's Eliminator time. Now, in the women's event, Sue's on 21 points. Judith is on 29 points. That's an 8-point difference, giving Judith a 4-second head start. Over to Jeremy.
Judith, so far tonight, you've been very successful. How much are you looking forward to the Eliminator?
I'm a little bit apprehensive because it can either be win or lost on this, and you just got to go out, all out, just go for it.
How happy are you to have a 4-second lead there?
Absolutely chuffed.
Sue, this is it. You've really got to attack the eliminator.
Yes, Jeremy, this is it. It's all or nothing on this one. The games become irrelevant when you come to the eliminator.
Well, I wish you both the best of luck, and I'll see you both at the finish. Over to John Anderson.
Judith, you will go on my first whistle. Sue, you will go on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1.
4 seconds for Judith Huntington to put as much distance between herself and Sue England. Sue's up and running in the most demanding 90 seconds on television. Judith bounces to the first net. Mortgage advisor works on the farm. Sue, the tax inspector from Goole, finishes her hurdles, prepares for the climb. Judith on the downside. Next will come the rope that knows no mercy. How much damage will that inflict on these brave contenders? Sue, careful on the climb, eases herself down. Judith copes with the rope and Sue is gaining. Sue on the climb as Judith reaches for the rungs. Judith's fans working as hard as Judith is, but Sue being punished by that rope. Agony for boyfriend Jonathan. The rope ties her up. Judith for the swing across the valley of death. Sue masters the rope, but Judith's wrung out a lead onto the cargo nets. Sue hauling herself across the hand ladder. Judith finishing off her climb. And it's downhill all the way on the homeward leg for Judith, but Sue again eating into that lead. Finishes the trapeze. Needs speed and power here. Friends Kerry and Jenny knows it's not lost yet. Judith on line to hit the graveyard first. Impact on the crash mat. Andrew can sense victory. Little Emily not knowing what to make of it all. Judith on the seesaws. The test of nerve and balance. Sue finishes her net climb. Jonathan and Jack still behind her all the way. Judith awkward on that seesaw. Sue on the gantry run to the zipper. And she'll be going down as Judith's coming up the travelator for a place in the quarterfinals. Dives and the swing rope to breach the paper burst in a very fast time indeed. Andrew delighted. Emily still tearful. Sue finishing off her final seesaw now. The dreaded curse of the rope has struck again. Sue to the travelator. Finishes it off. True Yorkshire grit on display here. Up Hell's Hill to finish her eliminator run.
You're through to the quarters.
Can't believe it. I really just can't believe it.
Well, I can. You've been a feisty little thing on the show. You've been thoroughly determined. You've thought about what you've been doing, and you've deserved it, absolutely and completely.
It's like a dream come true. This is just the start.
Well, you're going to have to come back another time, and if you get through the quarters, you have to come back at the semis, and then to the final, so you could face the Gladiators another 3 times.
I'll be back.
Let's hear it for Judith. Well done. Oh.
Sue, I think you showed real Yorkshire grit there. I mean, you never gave up, did you?
No, it's not the name of Gladiators. You just got to keep going right to the end. Just keep going.
That rope there, the rope on the eliminator caused a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I never had a problem in practice. But, you know, it's a big occasion when there's 7,000 people watching you. You want to do your best. Just sometimes it doesn't always work.
Well, you can give nothing more than your best, and that's what you've managed to achieve this evening. We've enjoyed having you on, Gladiators. Thanks very much. Let's give it up for Sue.
Jonathan leads the standing ovation, joined by Sue's dad, Jack. Emily is more cheerful now. She's with her winning mum. Kiss for husband, Andrew. Oh, she started up again. One look at me did it. Sue, who tonight summed up the spirit of Gladiators so well. Boyfriend's parents, Christine and Nick, followed by her own mum and dad, Myra and Jack. In the fastest eliminator contest, Judith's time of 1:38.8, just outside the existing record set by Louise Rains. Next, it's the guys. A 13-point lead means a 6.5 seconds head start for Lavern.
Well done. We can forget about the games now, because now this is all that counts.
Absolutely. This is the ultimate test. I'm up for it. I'm going for it. I'm chasing all the way.
Well, Lavern, I'm hoping this is finally going to shut you up.
I'm always quiet, my dear. What can I say? John is a storming contender, but I'll be going for gold, man. Going for gold.
All right, the very best of luck to the two of you. We'll see you both at the end. Over to John Anderson.
Lavern, you will go on my first whistle. John, you will go on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1.
Lavern Ritch, as he says, going for gold. Swimming instructor from Wales, moves as fast as he talks. Kangaroo jump to the net. It's a case of carry on doctor for John McAvoy, the 43-year-old GP from Sheffield. Lavern gets the first net done and dusted. The rope next, but it's not a clean climb. John on the net. Lavern pulls his way up. The bike beckons as John gets set to download on the net. Gallant daughters Sarah, Katie and Emily full of encouragement. Lavern struggling with the bike. John to the rope, more like a bell rope the way it's taken its toll this season. Lavern's fans on the verge of a breakdown. Lavern will be glad to see the back of that bike as John joins him on the pedals. Speedy cycle work from John. Lavern across Death Valley. Neat changeover. The 50-foot climb looms large above his head with 5 hard events behind them. This is the last thing they need right now. But that's why it's there, because Gladiators is the ultimate challenge. Lavern's people glad to see the back of that net. John still on the climb, needs to give his head and hope for an unforced error from Lavern. Lavern on the slide, knees up for the splashdown. John at the top, the gap still 6 seconds. Katie and Sarah still behind their dad. Lavern crashes down the seesaw as John hurls down the zip line. As he prepares for the landing, Lavern Ritch is on the travelator and he registers his place in the quarterfinals. Bursts through. Deborah stands. Oh, and the lad next door looks quite pleased too. John on the seesaws, steadies himself for the push down. Very fast over the second seesaw. Hillary, his wife, plus his 3 daughters know he gave his all, but 6.5 seconds is a bit much to ask of the good doctor as he finishes his rounds.
Lavern, at the beginning of the show, I said that you could talk the talk. Now we've got to see if you can walk the walk. You've done it, man.
Oh, what can I say? Who's the man? Who's the man? Who is the man?
How much have you enjoyed this evening?
Oh, the top banana.
Your thoughts on the quarterfinals?
Oh, take him. Final, man. Final, brother. I go in there all the way.
Try and go all the way.
All the way.
Well done for this evening. Let's give it up for Lavern.
Well, John, I have to say that you gave him a good run for his money. You almost caught him up.
Yeah. Lavern's got fast legs. His legs are almost as fast as his mouth, and that's fast.
It's been an absolute treat to have you on Gladiators. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've enjoyed it immensely. I want to say thank you very much. Thank you to my family for supporting me. I've had a great time. I loved it.
That's what Gladiators is all about, smiling right through to the end. Let's hear it for John. Well done.
Superb guy. The sea of green rises to him. Here's Lavern. He'll be back. Reward from Deborah. John running to his family. Fred Flintstone generous with his applause. And there's a happy family man. Hillary, his wife, Sarah, Katie and Emily all lining up for their turn in the cuddle queue. In the contest for the season's fastest eliminator, Cassius Frankson's record of 1 minute 18.3, untroubled by Lavern's eliminator time.
Fantastic show. I think Lavern and Judith are going to pose real problems in the quarterfinals.
Absolutely. Why don't you join us for more action here on Gladiators?
For safety reasons, do not attempt to recreate any of the events you have seen on Gladiators.
Jim Bowen has been spotted in the studio car park dragging a speedboat behind him. Another one. You can't move for them round here. It's Bullseye next, and then Bradley Walsh is in charge. Well, he likes to think so, but he corpses more than anyone. It's brilliant. The Chase, weekends at 9.